Welcome to the KO Boxing Show. Haven't we got a massive show tonight? None other than the Dark Destroyer, Nigel Benn, 2-division world champion, middleweight and super middleweight world champion of the world. Nigel, welcome to the KO Boxing Show.
How are you, Pete? Good to be here, mate.
Great to have you on, buddy. Great to have you on. Mate, you're settled in Australia. How do we get, as we call a pommy, out here living in Australia? How did that come about?
Listen, do you know what it is? My wife said, look, we lived in Spain for 12 years, and my wife said, look, we just got to move the kids to a country where, like, because I don't speak Spanish, but my kids speak it fluently. And she said, let's go to Australia. I said, Australia? Why in the hell would I want to go to Australia? Everything venomous lives in Australia. I don't want to go out there. I said, I'm not worried about the great white sharks, because we black men, we don't surf. So I came here and we was in the city, and I'll just give you a quick rundown because it's so beautiful how I ended up here. And I went into this like food court, and this Chinese man went to, what do you want, fried rice? I went, yeah. What noodles? I went, yeah. What noodles? You want sweet and sour pork? I went, yeah. I went, oh, thank you, Lord, I'm speaking to a Chinese man in English. I felt so blessed and honored. And then we looked around the city, because for 12 years I've been living in Spain. For 12 years, not speaking Spanish and all that. And then I come here, I just fell in love with it. Then we went down to the Gold Coast, and I remember standing on the Surfers Paradise. And I stood right, it was like a 100-meter run from the sand to the sea. And I stood right in the middle, and I looked left and I looked right, and I couldn't even see the end of the beach. And I was just thought, wow, I just love it here. This is 3 days, Pete. Yeah. 3 days. I fell in love with it. 3 days, not 3 or 4 weeks. Fell in love with it. Now this is the catch. This is the kicker. I said to my friend's son, find out, because I was like 48. I said, find out what I need to get in here. So he went to see the immigration officer, and I'm going to show you how God's hand was on my life. He went to see the immigration officer, said, look, I've got a celebrity boxer that wants to move over here. The immigration went to him, who's that? He went, Nigel Benn. Oh, Nigel Benn. I went to his gym when he was in Spain when I was 12-year-old, and he signed me an autograph. Can you believe that?
Yeah, there you go.
12 years old, and now me and Chris Carmen, we're just so much good friends
because
of that.
Chris
we're so blessed.
Awesome guy. I was with him during the Pacquiao Horn fight.
And he's got me here. I'm loving every minute. I wouldn't know where. I lived in Miami, I lived in LA, Barbados, Jamaica, Hawaii, been all over. You put all of them together, they don't add up to Australia, mate.
Oh, okay, that's great. That's great, mate. We love having you out here. Let's go over that magnificent career of yours. Mate, when you fought Iran Barkley, WBO middleweight world title, and you iced him in one round.
I'll stop you there. Because first of all, we got to go back another fight before that. That was Doug DeWitt.
Yeah.
Because Doug DeWitt, he was the world champion. And I remember him saying to me, we both come out in the press conference, and he was saying to people, what can he do to me? I've been in with Tommy Hearns, I've been in with all the best in the world. So what can he do to me? And I remember him putting me down in the second round. He hit me right on the chin with a left hook, and I hit him with a left hook, but he hit me right on the button. It was so perfect, Pete. I didn't feel a thing.
Wow.
You know, if you get hit up in the temple, you go dizzy and all that. He hit me right on the chin. I went down. The referee was counting. I was looking at him and said, yeah, I'm okay. And I remember the second round, now it's his turn to fill the canvas. And I remember bashing a granny out of him for the second round, mate. I put it on him. And then after that fight, they were lining up Iran Barkley. And I remember saying to myself, he fought Tommy Hearns twice. He's knocked Tommy Hearns out twice. And I thought to myself, I was training like a trooper. And I thought to myself, yeah, done the sparring, taken my vitamins, done my running, done everything. So I looked at him. I remember we come out. You know how I won the fight, Pete? I won the fight at the press conference. This is what happened. We come out, we looked at each other, and I looked him right in the face, didn't blink, and I was saying to him, well, come on in, let's have it. And he looked away. He looked at the ground. He looked at the ground. When he done that, I went, yes, I've got him. And if you watch the first round, the first thing I done a hop, skip, and a jump, and I threw a big right hand. That was the first thing I done. Put him down, and that was it. I wasn't scared of him, not at all, not at all.
Wow, what a story. Well, let's go into Chris Eubank, because I've seen you two argue at celebrity events or some type of jungle thing. You seem like a down-to-earth bloke. You can have a beer at the pub. He seems like he's a bit of an upper class kind of.
He thinks that the Queen should be living in Blacktown and he should be living in Buckingham Palace. Yeah. He's just got that mentality. But you know what it is? How can I knock a man that's made me very wealthy? How can I knock a man that when we put 47,000 at Old Trafford, over 18.5 million people watching in England, and over 500 million around the world? How can you not like him?
But personality-wise,
we just didn't see eye to eye. It was like you said, Pete, I could sit down there, have a beer with you, have a laugh, have a good drink. I'm like, if my sausage fell on the floor, I'll pick it up and put it back on a plate. Chris was like, it wasn't the whole thing sandwich started again. You know what I mean? Different people.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, though, how the sport can bring you two together. You both made amazing fights and you both made money, and there's a lot of respect now.
We've got a big tour when I go back to England in October. First time we're together, it's like they're classing it the final fight, the third round, because we're going back, we're doing a tour all around England. I don't know how we're going to get on, because see with Chris is still, he's still that person that thinks he's still got that persona that he's still fighting, but we're not fighting them. But I'm still me. I'll have a drink with him, I'll have a laugh with him, but I don't know how he's going to react or respond. Yeah,
let's wait and see. Let's wait, looking forward to that. Nigel, on a sad note, maybe not sad for you, but it was brutal. You fight with Gerald McCallum in 1995. I've seen a documentary. You've done amazing things. You donated your belt. You had that night for him in London. I raised $250,000. His sister Lisa's a great person. She's his full-time carer now.
To be honest with you, you see, you've only heard one side of the story, Pete. They tried to say his sister was actually writing a book about this fight and saying, like, they found drugs on my boot on the blood test and all that. This is the woman that I've just raised $250,000 for her brother.
Yeah.
Don King, none of them lot never done it. Two guys, the only way I can kind of describe it is like two guys from Blacktown going to work in Mosman, like, at this big, massive hotel. I raised $250,000, and then now they're trying to make money saying that, they found, like, that I've been taking performing enhancing drugs.
Wow.
And I thought to myself, how can you do that? I mean, if you say I have recreational drugs like smoking a spliff, I would say, I've done all that. But to say I had performing enhancing, that's just not me, Pete. It's not the way.
No.
It is. I look at the British public and think, you know what? It's like me and Ben Johnson, the runner that who won the 100-meter sprint.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they found out he's been taking. I don't want to be known as a cheat. If you have recreational drugs, I put my hand up and say, you know what? I'm sorry about that, But for her to then do that after me doing all that, I think, I lost respect for them.
You lost respect,
I'm just a normal person, Pete. I thought to myself, what? When I became a Christian, I thought, let me see if I can raise money for Joe McClellan. Nobody else done it, but two black guys from Ilford come out there and raise money for him. And then that's how they return my kindness.
And you were always respectful, because I remember your interview straight after that fight. The commentator, I don't know who he was like an older guy, I can't remember now, but he's never fought. He was trying to say that McCallum had kind of dogged it and took the easy way out, but you said, nah, I hit that guy with brutal shots. There's damage there. You knew there was damage.
It was, you know what it was? After he put me down in the first round, it was like he hit me so hard. I've never been hit like that. It was like I was hit with a pickaxe handle.
Yeah.
And went out the ring, and I remember looking out, and I thought, I'm on the floor. And then when I came back after that, go on, do you want to go and play? And then after that, it was like, I come back to my corner, and you watch the second round, Pete, everything changed.
Yeah.
But what happened, watch the round, the first round. Denny Mancini, God rest his soul, he took over from my trainer. Denny Mancini was my cuts man. He said to me, look at the state he's in, look what you've got him in. I've got bashed up the first round. But now what's happened, because he said these things to me, something in my subconscious, I don't know what happened, Pete, but something happened. My whole mentality changed. It was like, yeah, ring the bell. The second round, I'm chasing him around. He just bashed the granny out of me. But it was like, my mindset had changed, something in my subconscious just changed. And I was going after him. He just knocked me down. Next minute, I'm chasing him around. Even when he put me down in round 8, the next thing I come out, a right uppercut, left hook, and thought when you come out for round 9, you got more of that. My whole attitude just changed all through the fight from what happened in my subconscious that I didn't even know what happened, Pete.
Nigel, what an amazing experience, because it was like a dungeon there. It was, the atmosphere was like nothing you could ever experience. Must have been.
You could have cut it with a knife. I tell you what it was, Pete. I'll tell you how this all started, how Joe McClellan became #1. I was meant to fight Michael Nunn. And if you know Michael Nunn, he was a slippery southpaw, you know?
Yeah.
And I thought, didn't really want to fight him because he's really slippery. But what happened, Don King said to my manager at the time, take 100 grand off, you're just fighting Michael Nunn. And I thought to myself, take 100 grand off, fight Michael. I said, don't be silly. So the message come back to me, if you don't, we're going to bring in Mini Mike Tyson. So they thought I was going to go, oh, I'm scared. I spent 18 months in Northern Ireland. 5 of my friends got blown up in Northern Ireland. I didn't know if I'm coming back. So when you've been to a place like Northern Ireland, I've got no fear. He's got 2 arms, 2 legs like me. You want to have a fight? I'll have him. I said, bring him on. Yeah. And that's how it all started. So, and then everyone in the media, Pete, everyone had me to be knocked out between round 1 and 3. That was it. I thought, hold on a minute. Is that how you all going to treat me? You think that I'm just going to lie down, that I don't like having a war?
Yeah.
Don't be silly. I'm going to have a war, mate.
And what was
going out on my shield.
What was the old saying? Don King walked in with Gerald McCallum and he left the building with Nigel Benn. Is that what happened? Yeah.
He did. Listen, because after that, Don King promoted mostly all my fights after that.
Yeah.
He did. He promoted all my fights because...
How did you find him? How did you find him?
Oh, listen, he knows for a fact that every venue that I'm going to fight at is going to be packed out. So it's no point. Why do you go to all the little rats? Why don't you go to the big rat?
Yeah.
I went there, and you know what it is? I had no problem with Don King, because if you watch him after the Joe McClellan fight, when he was interviewed, he said, you made a believer out of me. I said, you only brought him over here to bash me up. I told him in his face, I had nothing to lose, because at the end of the day, he knows for a fact, well, this is a good meal ticket because he can still make money off of me. I didn't care if he made 4, 5, 10 million, as long as you pay me what I deserve. And I was happy with that. I weren't thinking to myself, what's he making? I said, I'm not worried about what he's making. I'm happy with what he's giving me.
Yeah, gotcha. That's a great attitude too. Nigel, what do you think of the current state of boxing? I mean, your son Connor now is a massive star. He's big news across the world. And you've been a great dad too. You've just let him do his thing.
Yeah, I have. You know what it is? It's a hard one really, because he's still got so much to learn. Like the last fight, I was really shocked. What's his name? The guy for Granados was going to come and have a fight. Yeah. But for the first time, a Mexican on his bike running away, not standing there, not having the right fight, which I thought he was going to. So, but it's a good fight that Conor had because he learned from that. You can't just go in there and whack everybody out, which you think that you're going to do. You've got so much to learn. The next fight is going to fight in December, so I'm going to be home for that fight. So we're going to train together. But he's got a lot to learn. He'll be 25 in September, in a couple of weeks' time. So he's still young, but he's learning. I mean, 3 more fights, he could be fighting for a world title.
Yeah. Nigel, it sounds like you're still inactive with the boxing game. Who are some of the favourite fighters you like to watch now in today's game? Do you still a fan now? Do you still like to watch fights?
Yeah. Cool. I'm a big fan of Canelo's, mate. He's my hero. Okay. I love Canelo, because I think to myself, for him to just go up to light heavy and deal with the geezers, the guys much heavier than him, to move up the weight, regardless whatever that they say that he's done this, he's done that. But you know what? I just rate him. I really rate him because he's just a great fighter. I like him. I really do. I got time for him. I never miss his fight.
And watching Eddie Hearn, he's doing great things for British boxing, even having those events in Essex in his backyard and barbecues. And mate, I'm pretty jealous sitting here in Melbourne watching all that.
Yeah, but you know what it is? He knows how to run the show now. He knows how to run it. He's just taken over from where Barry used to run it. And he's come and say, you know what? Thank you, Dad. Thank you for handing the baton to me. Now, you know what? Watch what I can do. Yeah. And he's just turned the table. He's just done an absolutely brilliant job. I'm proud for my son to go with him. And I'm proud for my son with Tony. I actually thought to myself, is Tony good for Conor? I thought to myself, you know what? And now I see how him and Conor trains. Oh my gosh, that's the best training that Conor could ever find, mate. He's learning so much, and Conor's doing what Tony tells him to do, which is really good. They're learning. They're together every minute of the day, working out new moves.
Awesome. We just can't wait for this COVID stuff to finish, Nigel, because I can come and hold your bags through customs or something like that, or I can be the guy that gets the pots or something like that.
There's a long queue, mate. You can't jump the queue.
All right, Nigel. Thanks for the interview, brother.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
Keep up the awesome work, and I'm sure we'll be interviewing again. God bless, and thank you for your time.
Take care, mate.
Take care.
Bye-bye.